I drink coffee. Too much coffee. I love coffee. When I have to, I go to Starbucks, although recently, in the last couple of months, I've realized I don't like their coffee. It's too bitter. You agree, right? It's too bitter. Too hot, too bitter. You know, it's just too bitter. It's way too bitter. But when I go in there, I always find myself looking at that gift shelf in the front every time. Like I'm gonna see something that I want. Like every time I go, I look at it. Like maybe this time there will be a really cool pair of old school Adidas here. Or a J. Crew sweater. But it's always just thermoses and mugs. Every time! For years! Thermoses and mugs. And for a long time, it's not there anymore, but for a really long time, at the front counter at Starbucks, they sold a DVD copy of the movie Aquila and the Bee. Which I just thought was the weirdest fucking thing ever. Like, just for the experience of it, I wanted to go to Starbucks one day and just be like, yes, I'd like one oatmeal raisin cookie. I'll have one small hot coffee. I'll take a copy of Aquila and the Bee. I'll have one macaroon. Or like the construction workers who like order for their whole team and the guy's like, yeah, I'll have 17 blueberry muffins. Give me 14 hot coffees. I'll take 17 copies of Aquila and the Bee. 4 macaroons. And I'm also thinking, how did they make the decision to do this? Like in some big boardroom and the main guy is like, hey everybody, we need to think of some new shit to sell at the front counter at Starbucks because the Knicks teams aren't doing as well as they used to. And some young executive's like, I know. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, movies. And they're like, okay, yeah, movies. That's a good idea. We could sell things that go well with coffee like Annie Hall and Bergman films. And he's like, no. And you're like, guy's like, no. And he's like, Aquila and the Bee. The guy's like, yeah, okay, like new releases. And he's like, no! Just Aquila and the Bee. It's the only movie we'll sell. And he's like, ship them everywhere. It's a great idea. Or I'll use the Starbucks bathroom. I go in there and I'll use the bathroom. And there's this incredible phenomenon of you're in the bathroom and there's someone outside who refuses to understand that the door is locked because there's someone in it. And they're like jiggling the handle and you have this like panic, the worst panic you've ever had in your life. You're shaking, you're like, somebody's in here! Yeah, someone's in there. Me, I'm in there. I'm talking about myself in the third person like I'm narrating a novel. I could be the omniscient narrator and be like, Michael Showalter's in there. She thinks to herself as she jiggles the knob.